I'm all about the good vibes, the good vibes. We bout to have a good time, a good time. Leave my problems all behind, all behind. We living out the good life, yeah. I ain't gotta worry about a thing.
Oh no.
Had some obstacles I overcame.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to ever be the same.
Oh Lord.
Cause when we change the mind, we change the game. Coming through clutch. Coming through clutch. Coming through clutch.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Kenny Clutch with another episode on the Clutchvision podcast. I got another special guest in the building, a little bit different for y'all this week. My man, 50 grand, you know what I'm saying? My man, the Saga, Christian battle rapper. What's going on, baby? What's good?
What's going on, man? Yo, I'm grateful and honored to be here, man. This is really dope.
That's what's up, man. Thank you for coming on the show, brother. How's everything going on with your quarantine?
Everything's good, man. Just trying to stay as creative as possible in this time, so I don't lose my mind in this house. But for the most part, I think it's everybody who's creative is gonna find different ways to keep themselves entertained. So with me, just trying to keep the ball rolling somehow, some way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what's up, man. So let's kick it off and everything. Let's tell the people, you know, for those that don't know who you are, who is the Saga?
I guess to dig a little deeper, my real name Louis Lebron. Based out of New York. Rapper, singer, songwriter, all this other good stuff. But one thing that's kind of helped me stand out above it all is the battle rap scene. And the reason why I stand out in that particularly because I am a believer in that, and the first ever Christian battle rapper in the entire culture of battle rap. So just standing in a culture that's based off vulgarity and just real darkness and really explicit content, you stand out and be that light in that darkness and proclaim his name in a room full of thousands and give people what they need to hear rather than giving them what they want to hear. So that's kind of just been something that's helped me stand out in that culture. And, God has really been showing himself through and through in that culture with just, myself and others who came after me as far as Christians.
So how are you received in the battle rap scene? Like, how do people respond to you when you go out and you do your battles in your music?
Yeah. So with the music, it's a little easier to translate because I would usually work within the churches and conferences. And so they're a lot more welcoming to that. When you bring up your testimony, you bring up what God's brought you through, it's a little more received in the church. But in battle rap, like I said, I'm opposing darkness. So at first I wasn't really as welcomed. You know what I'm saying? It was more so, we don't want to hear that Christian stuff. We don't believe in Jesus. We don't, a lot of people are dealing with church hurt. So the moment you get up there and say, I rep Christ, it brings them back to a time they were judged and they're automatically saying, I don't want to deal with this. And, at first it took a little while to ease them into the idea that a Christian is everything that they didn't think it was. You know what I'm saying? They put Christianity into a box of like, Christians think they're holier than thou and they're self-righteous and they look down on people and judge them. And we don't understand people's pain. And it took a while for people to really understand that I'm just as hurt as you are. I go through the same problems, the same issues. The difference is who I lean on for that strength and who I lean on for that understanding.
That's deep, man. So what drove you to get into rapping and battle rap period? Is something that's always been a part of you from like a young pup?
Yeah, I've loved battle rap since I was like in the 6th grade. I'm talking about like watching it all the time with my friends when YouTube just started popping off, and I'm like watching, and it was something about the competitiveness of it and the lyrical ability, how they were able to break down things 4 different times the same way. This is super crazy to me. But it took me a while to even step into that because, like I said, I was the first, so I didn't have a blueprint on how to go about it as a believer.
Right.
But growing up, I loved battle rap. It just helped me to become a better artist and how I express myself in certain ways. But when I finally started to step into that calling that God gave me, it just, obviously you become somebody that's working from the outside to going in, but I still have that same love and appreciation that I did when I was younger.
Yeah, so you picked up that calling, you know what I'm saying? God called you to do that. Like what was that like? Like were you skeptical at first? Like were you scared at first to go into it? Because I mean, if I'm you, I would be like, man, like this is kind of shaky, God. Like you really want this? Like you know how we always we got a bunch of questions.
Yeah, man. I was definitely skeptical. My friend Angel and I started in college, my freshman year in college. And my friend Angel was also a believer, was starting up a battle league. And he was like, yo, Saga, like you should battle too. And I'm like, I don't know, because battle rappers have this bad stereotype of not making good music. And I was already making music at the time. And I'm like, I've never even heard of that. What's a Christian how does a Christian battle rap? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I was so confused. I'm like, let me just pray on it. You know what I mean? So I was going back and forth with God for like 2 weeks. And I'm just like, I'm complaining to God at this point. I'm like, God, but like, can I just worship you with the music? Like, I've been doing well with that. And God just keeps on telling me, just trust me. But God, I'm trying to just trust me. But like, I feel like it's just, what if they don't like it? And I look like, just trust me the whole 2 weeks. And I eventually ended up doing my first battle. And within the week of that battle even being released, it called on to a popular website called Rapzilla. It's like a popular Christian website.
Yeah.
Like within the week, it dropped. Boom, straight to Rapzilla. Christian battle rapper blazes the stage. I was like,
oh,
what?
Right.
I was lost, man. But then, like, it really started to show with every battle that God really had a plan to really show His love in this culture.
That's deep, man. Cause it's like God is using you to go after His people. It's like, in a sense, like, yo, you that Moses in that sense, like, yo, go free my people from,
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying, from slavery in a sense, from that type of mindset. So let me ask you this: so have people converted, into accepting Christ more since you become an influence in that in that culture?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. There's like with this calling, people who don't understand it, there always comes a sense of backlash.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like people who don't understand what being that light in that part of the dark means.
Right.
Like you get a sense of backlash from the body. Like I've been called out by pastors and like, things of that saying this is not of God. But when I'm in this culture and I see the effect, one moment I'll never forget, I just finished having a battle against a dude named Shotgun Suge. And this woman walks up to me and she says, listen, I'm not a believer, but my son is. And I showed him one of your battles because he watches battles with me. And the confidence he had after he saw a believer doing something he had never seen before, he walked into school the next day showing everybody the battle like, oh, hello?
Yeah, you good, we there.
Yeah, so like just the confidence that the boy had in regards to just stop. I don't know. The confidence that the boy had in regards to just showing people like, hey, like I'm a believer and believers can do this too. It's just been insane to know that God could really work in these aspects of my life, and not only for the sake of, bringing Him glory, but really showing people that you're never really too far removed from Christ based on my testimonies. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling people I've been broke. I've been cheated on before. I've been depressed before. I've been angry at God before. And they're like, Christians go through the same thing I go through.
Yeah, like, talk about it, right?
Like, hold on, you've been depressed. Like, how you depressed?
Right.
God. I'm like, it doesn't take away from the fact that I know God, but I'm still man, and I still have flaws, and I still have insecurities, and I still have doubts. But in those doubts, I give them to God, and it allows a whole room of conversation to be had off stage. Because the battles, I really consider the battles on stage the icebreakers.
Yes.
The ministry really starts when the cameras are off, and I'm really having these heart-to-heart conversations with the
big people. Yeah, because it's like me with the dancing, right? I dance with my son all the time. And you know what I'm saying? We be getting busy, right? But
Absolutely.
people will see that, right? And they see us dancing and they're blessed by the dancing, but the ministry really goes down in the DMs. You know what I'm saying?
It does. It
And
does.
it's real. Like I had a conversation with a woman the other day, man, and she was just like, yo, like, can you please just pray these demons out of me? Like that video that you put up with your son and your testimony, like it really touched me. Like I just really want to be like done with this. Like I like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, yo, I get this all the time. You know what I mean? So it's like it's like God sees what's going on in private as well too. You know what I mean? Like sometimes he'll just use your gift to go ahead and reel in, for you to be a fisher of men.
Yeah, man. It's a crazy thing, man, because if I would have told younger me that, hey, listen, I know you love battle rap. What if I told you that you're going to be the first ever and really pioneer a movement of God in a culture that doesn't really see too many believers treading, and you're going to like change the conversation, not only the conversation, but you're going to change the perspective of how people see God. You know what I'm saying? Like, because to a lot of these people, we're the only Bible they're going to read. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? In this culture, they're not going to take the time to go to Sunday service with you. Right. So how you walk, how you talk, how you present yourself in these times, you're the only Bible they'll ever read. And you're the only Jesus they'll ever know. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you really have to show them who God is through how you were able to overcome. You know what I mean? Like people can notice when you have that glow of God, they notice something different about your aura. They know something like, hold on, I don't know, but like when you walked in the room, I felt a little better. I don't know why. Like, why is it that you have this feeling like you have a glow about you? Because they need to be in touch with what God is doing, and the only way for them to do that is get to know you and how God is working through you in that time. Yeah. So I'm grateful. I'm truly grateful to be in the position I'm in and to be a light in a culture. And now it's like, Christians are slowly taking over the battle rap world. I mean, really? Yeah, it's like now it's not just one person. There's like a few other of my good friends. They're on different leagues. And not only are we just like implementing the gospel, and it's just like, oh, you get little things here. I'm talking about millions of views on YouTube to where people are sharing it. People are tweeting about it. And people are realizing that there's a message behind the mess. You know what I'm saying? Like we express ourselves and we share our vulnerabilities and our insecurities and our doubts, but because there's something greater to pull from it in these bars and these metaphors and all the stuff that we do.
Yo, man, that's super ill. So let me ask you this question. Let me shift to, to the young people real quick, because we in the young man's game when it comes to hip hop. You know what I mean? Yeah. And with your own trials, your own tribulations, the things that you've been through, and maybe there's that lost person right now. Because I'll tell you this much: there was this kid named Malik. If you go on my Instagram, you can see him. Like he's from Chicago, and he was rapping. You know what I mean? I gave him a shot. But the thing was, I was trying to guide him to the positivity, because he's 15. Everything he was spitting or whatever was, like he had a dope flow. But it was super negative, because he's spitting about what he sees in the hood, right? So what kind of advice or whatever for the young rappers that are in the game right now that are looking for that way, looking for that avenue, to turn those negatives into a positive?
I think in a world that's trying to just find an easy way out in regards to creativity, we're trying to just cookie cut something we've seen and emulate that. I think originality stands out more than anything. I feel like, I've come across a lot of young cats that, they say they're inspired by this rapper, or they're even inspired by what I do. And, you start to hear a little bit of who they listen to. You can pick up, he listens to him a lot, or he listens to him. I think one thing I always try to tell young artists in the game is originality is key. You know what I mean? There's a reason why you like so-and-so. There's a reason why you like it, because they stand out and they're presenting their story their way. So being original and presenting your story and bringing your experiences to life is what will help you stand out in a culture that's so monotonous, so bland. The people that really stand out are the people that are taking a chance to be themselves. Perfect example for me. in a world that was talking about gangster rap, right? We're talking about maybe like 2003. In a world that was talking about gangster rap, shoot 'em up, kill 'em, all this good stuff.
Right.
You got Kanye West, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Kanye West was a kid with a pink polo,
right,
a bear in his hand,
Yup.
and a backpack,
In a
right?
backpack.
And we're like, who's this kid? Like,
Right.
where did I'm gonna go listen to G Unit real quick. I'll be back, or I'll be listening to this. And you sit back and you think to yourself, like, where is this kid coming from? Why is he rapping like this? And the more you listen to him, you're like, oh, all right, this kind of dope.
Kind of tight, yeah.
Okay, I like this.
Right.
So being original helps you stand out in ways,
right,
like
and
beyond
then
your imagination.
And then he hit us with the Jesus Walks. You know what I'm saying? When he hit us with the Jesus Walks,
when he hit the Jesus Walks, it was like,
okay, like I'm about to put
damn.
a stamp on it real quick. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
and that's what I'm like. I'm gonna tell you, like, for me, at that time, like, I think I was just graduating high school, and I hear this joint, and I'm like, oh snap! Like, this joint is kind of tough. Like, yo, Kanye West, that dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Man. He stands out. Like, in that time where everybody was going left, he was going right, and he went so far right that you're like, I like what's over there. I want to try something of this nature, and so many other artists came from that lineage of being more transparent besides what everything else is going on. So you had like people like Drake and J. Cole and Kendrick and Big Sean and all these people. So being original has so many benefits to it. You start to literally like pave your own lane. So, you never hear about the guy that sounds like everybody else because he falls in line. So with a lot of these young cats, I will tell you originality is key. Originality is something that is it's a powerful tool. So, you have a story, you have an individual story that you can tell. And, it's all about just putting yourself in a space where you're trusting your pen, you're trusting what you have to say, and you're presenting it with a level of confidence that'll help you stand out.
Mad dope. So let me ask you this question, man. Who were some of your, biggest influencers when it comes to music?
Man, I feel like one of my go-tos personally is Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
She, for me personally, growing up, she embodied being a full creative. You know what I mean? Like, if she wanted to rap, she could rap with the best of them. If she wanted to sing, she could sing with the best of them. Yeah. You know what I mean? She could do a lot across the board. But beyond that, people like Kanye West, I'm a big fan of. People like Ryan Leslie, John Bellion, and even on my Christian background, you gotta go to the OGs, my personal opinion, like Kirk Franklin, like CeCe Winans, Yolanda Adams, Israel Houghton,
Donnie McClurkin,
man. Like, it's a Fred Hammond. Like, there's too many that I grew up on that like helped to root and helped me shape how I perceive music in the gospel aspect. So yeah, just to name a few, man.
We used to sing a lot of their songs, man. Now, mind you, I'm no singer or nothing like that, but I was in the New Jersey Mass Choir back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Word?
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't really shared that with too many people, but I was in the New Jersey Mass Choir back in the 90s, and we used to sing, Shabbat, hallelujah.
Yeah, Shabbat.
Shabbat. We used to go and hit him with the dun 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 dun. That's when, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we used to like hit him with all of that. Like, our concerts was so popping, and we used to just we dance. And I was in AME church. We called it. It was the YPD.
Right.
So I forget what YPD stands for. I think it's Young People's Department. My mom probably gonna kill me if she. But you know what I'm saying? So back then, when I was a part of the AME church, that's what we used to rock them songs. And it was just a joyous time, man, because hip hop was growing in even more in the 90s, and just adding that hip hop aspect to it, was
Absolutely.
super lit. So yeah, man, I agree with all the, the artists, what I'm saying, that you mentioned, man. But I want to do something, for the people. We in a pandemic right now, right? And I wanted to do something different with them, and maybe you could help me out with, with a rhyme. You know what I'm saying? Because
Okay.
we in quarantine. I just had a cousin who was who two cousins actually that were diagnosed with the COVID-19.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
one of them of which just passed away a few days ago.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. I'm sorry
Yeah,
to hear
man, it's all good, brother. You know what I mean? So, but I wanted to I'm all about uplifting people, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to know if you be down to kick a little something or whatever for the, for the listeners out there, to uplift them and keep them going and keep them moving.
Oh man. Okay. I mean, like just freestyle at the top type stuff.
Yeah, you could, or if you got something that you already got, written, that's cool too. It don't matter.
I mean, yeah. I mean, let me see. It's always these freestyle things. Let me think. I definitely know a few freestyles of some stuff I had before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll just do one of those real quick. Just giving my testimony. It goes, shooting cans off the hoopty just for murder practice. But it wasn't for me, so when they said it's my turn, I passed it. I'm from a place where the wrong color see burners clapping. Man, I still remember them bodies like a Serta mattress. Man, ever since I was young, I had bigger dreams. My cousin doing time based off what he weighed on that triple beam. Was in the hood, but never let the streets get in between. Them kids rolling with a tray like a kid cuisine. I was down that road, but God came along and he intervened. Light to my feet, he lit up my steps, but it wasn't Billie Jean. My homie said, man, I'm just tired of the nonsense. These common black thoughts most death weigh on my conscience. I said, be grateful, you overcame what you shouldn't have. He said, it's hard to count blessings when you ain't good at math. Mom's stressing out, I don't really find hope to pray. How you manage to cope today? I just tell them I know the way. I'm from a place where these mothers are trying to juggle their 3 jobs. And a man profits off anybody that he robs. They rather push crack knowing that they need jobs till they end up dying in the apple like Steve Jobs. Welcome to the life where everybody's trying to be hard, claiming how they need money, but never how they need God. They rep that third eye like they see all. Just read the book of Acts, so I don't need the Clippers to see Paul. Tales of the lost. I speak for those who ain't got a voice. And this for those struggling because they ain't got a choice. Conformity's never been acceptable, nor has it been respectable. They say life is foul, well, mine's a technical. I feel at home when I'm surrounded by the beats. I set it off like Queen Latifah, surrounded by the police. Thoughts of a revolution I founded by my caprice. I rock cement to the cross because I'm grounded in my beliefs. I mean,
ooh, I gotta get, guys, I keep telling y'all gotta donate to the podcast because I need some equipment because I gotta get some bombs up in here, man. I gotta get some bombs. That joint was super, super fire.
Thank you, man. That's real,
super
bro. I appreciate
fire,
that.
man. I wanted to be like, like how they be in the URL joints or whatever, but I didn't want to cut you off.
It's all love, man.
Cause y'all be in the mix. And you be like, let me get that.
Yeah, bro. It's just pulling for people. I know in this time it's weird.
Yeah.
Everybody's just everybody's panicking. You know what I mean? Everybody's so uncertain. You see the videos of people in supermarkets. You see the people running around beating people up for toilet paper. It's a scary time for people because they don't know what's next. People are losing their jobs. Yeah. But I'm reminded day in and day out, in Psalms 46, to be still in this time. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like with so much chaos going around and people are anxious and they're moving, one thing that I could just leave with anybody is just to be still and know that he is God and know that he is still on the throne. He is still in control. We serve a God. We don't serve a God of random acts. We don't serve a God of chaos. We serve a God of order. We serve a God who has ordained everything to come to pass. And the plans that he has for us are good and not to harm or destroy us. So when this world looks kind of crazy, we have to understand that God is still good. Even when good doesn't feel right, even when good doesn't seem okay, like God's definition of good, like exceeds like by millions and millions of miles what we think is good. You know what I mean? So God is good, man. No matter what happens, I can stand on that.
You know what's so powerful, bro, is that this morning at 5 a.m. I had a prayer. We had a prayer meeting with some fellas, you know what I'm saying, on Zoom. And that was part of the prayer, Psalm 46. That's crazy, bro. Because we like, no matter what happens, people that's listening, listen, share this with your mom, your dad, your auntie, your uncle, you know what I'm saying, your sister, your brother, your step cousin, your stepsister, your stepdaughter, whoever. Listen, man, no matter what is going on, God is still good.
Yeah.
Still, you know what I mean? Like, you could be, you know, down in the ditch and he's still there with you. That's what we don't understand sometimes. It's like when I was in that hospital, you know, with my son, I say this all the time, like 149 days in and out of the hospital, going back and forth. My kids sleeping on a mattress or whatever, the air mattress at their grandma's house, 3 of them on an air mattress. And it's like, yo, like, God is still good. You know what I'm saying? All the time. Like,
all the
time. Like, listen, it's going to work out. And if you listening, you know what I'm saying, to myself, and you listening to Saga right now, we here to tell you, yo, it's going to work out. You just gotta stay the course. Don't fight with God. Don't wrestle with God, because you're going to lose. Just ask Jonah.
Every time.
You're going to lose. You're going to lose, yo. Because even with me, man, it was like, yo, I wasn't planning on being a motivational speaker. Like, I'm like, yo, I'm trying to choreograph for Neo or somebody. I'm trying to choreograph for Chris Brown or something. Like, that's what I'm, you know, that's where my mindset was at. But then when I seen people, when I just started speaking, you know, these words just started coming out of nowhere. Like, and people was like, yo, you should be a motivational speaker. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. And I just kept saying it for the longest time, even before my son was diagnosed with cancer in 2018. I was like, nah, I'm straight. You know, I'm teaching, I'm doing my thing. And then boom, God just put me in a position where I was like, no, you're gonna do this. Now you ain't got no choice. So sometimes God will sit there and lock you up and put you in quarantine because you ain't got no choice but to sit there and do what he called you to do, right?
Come on. Like, I think a lot of people are looking at this time, right? And people are getting discouraged because they're not able to go out and they're not able to run around and do stuff. And I'm here to let you know, man, God can definitely use you in this time. And this is the perfect time to, like, really connect with God. There were so many distractions in this life, you know what I'm saying? Where, I can't pray now, God. I gotta go to the gym.
Right.
God, I can't. I gotta go to work. I gotta pull a double. You know, God is really sitting back just like this, just like, are you ready to have this talk yet? Like, are you ready to, because I feel like this is like that time to really get in that prayer closet. There's nothing else taking you away from really connecting with God. So it's more so about just accepting that open invitation that he's been giving you day in and day out. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just accepting that open invitation to just say, listen, I just need a few minutes of your day today. I just need a few minutes to just talk to you, pray, just worship, you know what I mean? Get into scripture with you. Just to give me a few minutes of your day, right? And those few minutes will turn into, just give me an hour. All right, you know what? Just give me 3 hours. Until you start to realize that, you know, when you go to the gym, when you first go to the gym, it's always like something to where, like, it's hard. You know what I mean? You get sore a few days in. You don't know how to deal with it. You start to get discouraged because you're dealing with the resistance. I'm telling you, the more you grow with God on that level where you push past being comfortable, it becomes something that you want to do. You ever see those dudes who go to the gym constantly and feel like, I gotta go to I don't feel right if I don't go to the gym. Right. I don't feel right if I don't get my push-ups in.
Facts.
It becomes something where you look back and you're like, did I pray? I don't even feel right if I don't pray right now. I don't feel good if I don't get into my word real quick. Hold on a second. Like, I got to really start to get, it becomes a thing where it becomes something where you have to work towards it, and then it works in you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, bro. Because, you know, it's crazy, man. That was me. That was me. Like, you know, because I grew up in the church, and then in my 20s, I didn't go to church.
Right.
At all. I went maybe Christmas, family and friends day. You know what I'm saying? If somebody passed away, I was in there. You know what I'm saying? Like then when we hit a little recession where I started losing everything. You know what I'm saying? Like my job, there was no work for dance or anything like that. And I'm in my home, you know what I'm saying? And God was just telling me like, yo, you gotta roll. You gotta leave this house like right now and go back home to your mom's. And I'm like, my pride was on something like, nah, I'm gonna stay here, I'm gonna gut it out. I'm a man, I can figure it out. But I couldn't figure it out. And it was just like, just go. And then a week and a half later, that house that I was in for 4.5 years went up into flames. So,
wow.
Yeah, bro, electrical fire in that joint. And I'm like, yo, what if I would have stayed here a week and a half later? What if I would have just, said like, yo, my pride. What if I would have stayed there, man? You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And it's like, yo, I had people there, you know what I'm saying, in and out, you know what I mean? We was chilling, all of this, yo. And now I'm like, I'm a roll and then go back home. And I'm glad that that God pushed me to make the decision to move and go back home, because
God, man.
had I not, man, my homie hit me up on the news. Hit me up or whatever. I was like, yo, you good? Like your house on fire. I said, yo, bro. I'm like, nah, I'm chilling. I'm in my house right now. He's like, nah, bro, I'm looking at your house right now. Like your joint on fire. And I'm like, son, I'm in my crib right now. He said, turn on the news. I turn on the news and there's my house. I'm like, yo, like that's wild. Like God don't be playing. That was my burning bush, bro.
Wow. Come on now.
That was my burning bush.
Come on, talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I feel like every person in life, you get your burning bush and you get into that wilderness. When you in that wilderness, that's your quarantine. And then
Ooh, I like that.
I'm saying
That's come on. You're talking right now. I love that.
That's your quarantine right now. When you come out of the wilderness, great things come out of the wilderness. Moses came out and freed the slaves now. You know what I'm saying? Out of the wilderness. You feel me?
Sir. Yes. Amen.
David was in the cave, right? You feel me?
Come on now. Come on now.
David was in that cave.
In that cave,
came out like, yo, I was good. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I'm talking about, man. Like, I love that. Like, I want people to understand that it's okay to have these conversations. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta be afraid of, like, ain't nobody gonna sit there and like judge you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we, myself, Saga, we just like y'all. Like, we just like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we done bad things too. We've made mistakes in our lives. Like, we not perfect. Like, nobody is. But the one thing that keeps us rolling is Jesus Christ, yo. Like, straight up,
Man, it's crazy to think what God has taken me from, you know what I mean? And where he's taken me to. When I tell you, suffering greatly or just constantly battling with depression, growing up, while still being in church, man. I'm talking about like my grandfather, pastor of the church, my mom, worship leader, my brother plays the drums, I'm doing the sound, all this, being active in church and still going through my own situations, dealing with depression, which in that depression led to trying to find things to fill that hole in my heart. Like, went to liquor, weed, women, all these things, right? Even suicidal thoughts at the age of 14, like just from 14 and on, all these things while still being in church, and realizing like being in church just isn't enough. You know what I'm saying? You have to have an actual relationship with God. You have to have an actual relation. It's more than just going to church every Sunday.
It's not religion. It's a relationship.
It's not religion. If you're thinking about going to church for the last 25 years, it's going to get you good and you don't have a true encounter. I'm trying to tell you, man, while still going through all these things in my life, dealing with depression, suicidal thoughts, drinking, the smoking, all these things, it took me till I was about 18 years old to realize that the God I serve can turn any impossible into the possible. And like really understanding everything I was brought through, the constant surgeries in my life, all these things. Like I'm telling you, God really did some things. I have no other choice but to say it was him that brought me through.
Right.
How ungrateful I was in these times because I didn't want to take the time to get to know him. But the moment I really took that time to get to know the God that heals, the God that forgives, the God that saves, the God that is working in my favor and working for my good, like it changed how I move in the storm. You know what I mean? Instead of worrying in the storm, I dance in that rain, knowing who get. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'll dance in the middle of that storm, knowing that sun's coming right after this. You know what I mean? That's just the kind of hope we give to people, man. We've been hurt. We've hurt people. We've lost loved ones. You know, we've been through everything imaginable. You know, we've been through hurt. We've been through pain. But one thing about that is the only thing that's remained consistent is that Christ died for us. We will always have eternal life within him. And we lean on that when we don't understand at all. We lean on him for a peace that surpasses our understanding.
Yeah.
We just try to give that to people through our gifts and talents, man.
Yeah, exactly, man. I'm trying to multiply mine. You know what I'm saying?
Come on now, talk about it.
Trying that Matthew 25, I'm trying to multiply mine.
Talk about it.
Every day. You know what I'm saying? Every day. Like, I'm not playing no games. And that's why, like, you know, I'm pushing the podcast, pushing, you know, Dance With My Son. That brings so much joy to people, man. And it's like, people, use your gift. Use your talents that you have, because you never know who you're gonna be blessing. You know what I'm saying? I want to do this with you. So we come, you know, and we appreciate you coming on the show. You know what I'm saying? Guys, make sure you like, subscribe, comment below. You know what I mean? Like, this is good. If you love this, if you dig with this, you know what I'm saying? Yo, make sure you share it. You know what I mean? Share the love, spread God's word, because right now he's working in the room right now. So check it out. We're gonna play a little game. It's called In the Clutch. All right, it's called In the Clutch. Okay. So Clutch is an acronym. Okay. Back in the day, I had a dance group called In the Clutch, and the acronym was Inspirational Dancers Creatively Linking Upon the Culture of Hip Hop. INDACLUTCH. Inspirational dancers creatively linking upon the culture of hip hop. Bars, where my bars at? You know what I'm saying?
I was like still trying to think every. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Let me get the bars.
Come on, acronym game.
You know,
the acronym game is on
10. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, hit URL up real quick. You know what I'm saying?
We might have to get Smack. We need to get him a plate, Smack. We need to get him a split. He's ready. He's ready today.
Word up. So I'm going to give you a letter, right? And then you give me an inspirational word from the letter that I give. And that's Clutch. All right, ready? Okay, here we go. C.
Be confident in who God called you to be in this time. Never lose sight of who you are. Never lose sight of your personal individual imprint that God has placed in you, and trust that and be confident in that. C.
L.
Love yourself in the midst of insecurities. Understand and see yourself how God sees you. Never lean on others for opinions and never lean on others for validation. You must love yourself first.
You
understand and know that God is on your side no matter what the world tells you, no matter what your insecurities tell you, no matter what the enemy tells you. Understand that God is with you in the midst of every storm.
T.
Trust in the fact that you are called to greater and you're called to do things that others can't. And the road that you travel was only paved by God, and it's an individual road that you are meant to travel down. So trust in God and understand that your challenges will be different from others.
C.
Understand that you are covered in everything you do. If God has called you to it, God will see you through it. You are covered in everything that God has ordained you to do.
H.
We claim healing over everybody in the midst of these situations. We understand that this world is sick, but we serve a God of restoration and a God of healing. So understand that you are healed in anything that the enemy tells you that you are struck in sickness by.
Yo, that's clutch, baby. That's clutch. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah.
I was like, I'm like, God, have your way. I don't know what you want to.
Yo, my man, the Saga has came through and blessed the Clutchvision podcast, bro. We appreciate you coming on. Where can the people find you at?
Yeah, man. Everything. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It's all the Saga, but it's spelled TH3, SAGA. You can find that all over the place. And if you want to check out the website for merch and things like that, it is Th3 Outsiders. So that's my brand. It's my fan relation situation. So, the Saga and theoutsiders.com is where you can find everything.
Word up. We're going to put all that in the description below. Make sure you guys go ahead and support the Saga, support the ministry, guys. Listen, if you guys were blessed by this, make sure you go ahead and share this with everybody, your coworker, your boss, your mama, your girlfriend, your baby mama, your baby daddy. I don't care. Share it with your infants. You know what I'm saying? That ain't even here yet. You know what I'm saying? Put the headphones on the stomach, mamas, and let them go. So because they need that word. They need that word. You feel me? Listen, guys, we love you. Make sure you guys donate to the podcast so we can continue to grow and continue to blast this everywhere to spread more positivity, more love, and change more lives. Listen, it's like I say all the time, when we change the mind, we change the game. It's your boy Kenny Clutch, my man the Saga. We out of here. Peace.